feel well, often our inclination is to go to the doctor who can tell us what's wrong and give us the medication or even the surgery we might need to help fix the problem. But most of us know by now that this Band-Aid approach to healthcare is never going to give us the kind of real energy and vitality we'd like to enjoy throughout our lives. But that level of health really is possible. And today we'd like to introduce you to some doctors who can help make that happen. Hi, I'm Janice Marie, and we're here today in Glen Cove, New York, visiting Linchitz Medical Wellness. The doctors here take a holistic approach to healthcare and wellness, focusing on natural treatments and the prevention of illness. The results they've achieved have been nothing short of miraculous. So we sat down with Dr. Linchitz and his staff to find out more.
In traditional medicine, when a patient comes into a doctor's office, they usually come in with a set of symptoms and they expect to get a treatment for that, usually a pill or surgery, and they often will get that. There's, the focus, I believe, in conventional medicine has become mostly symptom relief. There's nothing that doctors do on a regular basis that actually creates vibrant health. So a patient, if they're feeling sick, they can be brought perhaps to not being sick. What we do in our office is to try to really create vibrant health. So we can take a patient who's sick and not only bring them to neutral, but hopefully bring them to vibrant health. And a lot of their symptoms, even symptoms they didn't come in with, will go away just because they're really healthy now. And our focus is on looking at lifestyle, looking at people's diet, looking at the way they eat, the way they function, the way they exercise usually or not exercise, and helping them to make those changes. And that usually creates something other than just getting people a little bit feeling better. It actually creates vibrant health.
I was referred to Dr. Linchitz's office, so I brought him here so that he could understand at a cellular level what was going on. So we sat with Dr. Dashiff and Dr. Linchitz. He sat with him for over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, explained all the blood results to him, explained what could happen, that even though he wasn't diabetic, 5 to 10 years from now he could be pre-diabetic. Working with the doctors and changing his diet, he's lost 25 pounds. More important, his insulin levels went down too. They were cut in half. His sugar levels went down. He's got energy, he's on the tennis court, he feels great, and he just keeps losing weight and eating healthy. And it's a different child. It's a completely different child.
We all reach a realization at some point, or we never do. And I saw this fellow at a conference, so I guess he's a lot smarter than I am, because he pointed out that when he was a resident 26 years ago, there were 4 main groups that admitted to the hospital. And one group's patients seemed to stay less, leave healthier than all the other groups over his residency time. And that was the integrative group that was more holistically inclined. So at some point you realize what these medicines are doing, what their side effects are, what they're doing to you financially, and you see, are we healthier? You see people saying, I have to get up an hour earlier just to take my medicines. Okay, and how are you doing? You're still doing miserably. So at some point you either say, maybe there's a better way, or you don't. So people really have to understand what's going on out there, and the next great advance is not necessarily the next great medicine. Maybe it's finding out what caused your problem in the first place, tinkering with that so you don't need the medicine. Once you're a confirmed diabetic, once you're a confirmed cardiovascular problem, damage is already done. Head it off 10 years before that, now you've done something for society.
When we talk to patients about, what kind of changes that they need to make in their lives, if they say, gee, I'm not sure that I can do all of that, give me just a couple of things that I might be able to do right away and see a difference. And so the first thing we do is say, switch to organic as much as possible. Start taking some fish oil. That's good for your brain, it's good for your heart, it's good for your lungs, it's good for everything, it's good for your joints. And then we also talk to them about exercise. So when patients hear that, and they really feel, gee, I can do that. And so they make these little changes, and then when they come for a follow-up visit a month later, they say, okay, what more can I do? They were able to get that under their belt, and now they say, what more can I do? And then you find that they're very willing to say, okay, yeah, I could take a few supplements, or I could try something else.
I feel it's my job to be able to bring real medicine into their lives so that I do a physical exam, I understand the human body. I was traditionally educated at Cornell Medical School. I understand medicine. And so it's important, I think, that patients get that perspective and yet have their needs understood and accepted, that they want a different way of approaching their health. And in some ways they have a kindred spirit in me, because that's the way I approach my health too. Very often I talk about 6 pillars of health, and those are diet, supplements, exercise, stress management, detoxification, and bioidentical hormone or hormone balancing. Those are very, very important. Without those 6 pillars, whatever it's trying to support just falls apart. So I focus on all of those in trying to help people get truly healthy. Well, all my life I was very interested in health. I was always exercising. I've been very active. I used to do triathlons. And then 11 years ago, I developed cancer. They found cancer in my lung, the right lower lobe of my lung. And that was an incredible shock. I was healthy, relatively healthy, and I think that was an important part of my recovery. So I started to realize that if I applied these 6 pillars to all of my cancer patients, that it would give them at least an edge in recovery. Whether they were doing anything else, conventional or unconventional, that was an important part of the treatment.
I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2008, had the conventional treatment in Rochester, New York at a world-class cancer center. I then was in remission for only 2.5 months. I went to an alternative clinic in Reno where I had very good results. I was referred here to the Linchitz Medical Wellness, where they could continue and augment my treatment. And I've had my 5th treatment here, and I'm having wonderful results with their treatment. And what I particularly like about Dr. Linchitz is, well, I like a doctor who could talk the talk. I like a doctor who's walked the walk. And he's walked the walk. He's very inspiring, and he has a wonderful peace about him and a wonderful confidence that comes through. He gets the job done. You have all the time you need. And when you talk to him, you feel you have all the answers. And my cancer is a stage 4, and I decided to make 4 my new favorite number. Because when you got stage 4, it could be checkout time, but not down here. I'm still here.
Well, if people follow the 6 pillars of health, they're generally going to see dramatic changes in their life on every level. They're going to feel better, their energy level is going to be better, their thinking is going to be sharper. Believe it or not, they actually, a lot of people who are depressed actually begin to feel better. They just feel this vibrant health is something that they can actually feel inside. A lot of times people feel that they're going to be depriving themselves. They change their diet, they're going to be missing out on something. When vibrant health is part of what you feel on an everyday basis, you don't feel anything is missing. You don't even have the cravings for the things that you thought were so important in your life. Patients' own results become their own inspiration, and then there's no longer, they don't need to be inspired by me or anybody else. They go on to inspire other people.
The 6 pillars of health really can lead to a lifetime of energy and vitality, and the doctors here can help you make that happen. Reporting from Glen Cove, New York, I'm Janice Marie.